cheap but quality mini anime figures for £10 or less. Now you can't really complain about that. These are two of the figures that I see around everywhere at the moment. Chibi Masters and banpresto's World Figure Collection figures. World Collection figures, I should say. And these are basically everywhere at the moment. Mainly the Demon Slayer ones, of Gyomei here, for example, and One Piece. They're the two main sets of these ones I see literally everywhere. And Frieza here from Dragon Ball Super in the Chibi Masters form. Him and all the Dragon Ball set, all 5 of them, including Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer again, I am seeing everywhere at the moment. Chibi Masters has been out for a couple of years, but it seems to be more taken off now, because I'm seeing them all in stores, more or less every kind of store, toy store at the moment, which is great to see. Means more opportunity for us all out there to get some cheap, affordable, and awesome looking, little tiny, high quality figures. And if you're on a budget, absolutely perfect. For the price of a prize figure, you can get 3 of these. For the price of a Funko Pop, you can get exactly the same with higher quality than a Funko Pop. That ain't much to go on though. I do love Funko Pops, but they have the downsides. Frieza there, and let's have a look at Gyomei. So what I understand about these as well, there's multiple sets of these. I have 2 from a previous set. I have Geek and Tanjiro from another set, and if Geek is back in this one again, I wouldn't be surprised there's more for Tanjiro and Nezuko and all that in different sets. I think there has been quite a lot of sets out of these, and they normally come in 4 parts. Let's see if this is the same. This time round, just the 3. Stand, part of the stand to hold him up, and Gyomei himself. And there he is. Now in this animated series that's been out so far, the anime itself, you don't actually get to see Gyomei very often. He appears maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times, something like that. As you see the different Hashiras and stuff around. I don't know if later, I'm guessing more likely in later arcs, that you will see a lot more of him. But I'll show him up on screen there now. We'll have a closer look as well. So you just have this then kind of dulled out, ghostly eyes, I guess. He looks like, in the series you kind of look like he could be blind, but looks like he's just rolled his eyes back a little bit. So they have captured that really well. Detail and transfers on his cloak. So you got all the Japanese letters there, all the symbols going right around. Colours solid. Paintwork on his feet is a little off, just a little. They've even got the paint going right underneath his hand, underneath there, onto his beads, which is really nice to see. So they actually paid attention to the inside. Few standard kind of moulding lines on it, but this is only £10. Sometimes you get, sometimes you can get these cheaper. So stuff like mould lines and connection lines when the different sections have been brought together. You totally expect that in this kind of quality and price of figure. Overall, I think they've captured him really well. He's got his very stern look that he does have, very stern pose. Overall, really nice. Now, Frieza here, I think is going to be very similar in the fact that there isn't actually much different colour on Frieza. It's actually like mainly it's just 2 colours. So I don't think there's going to be really any issues with the paintwork. We'll probably still have the same kind of issue with moulding lines and things like that. Difference here though, other than the boxes you get with these banpresto figures, which don't get me wrong, are nice boxes. A lot of colour on there, a lot of detail, a lot of information, a lot of little things as well, which has got codes on the stands, so you can tell that it is a real version of it. One thing I do like about the Chibi Masters figures is that you essentially can display them like your Funko Pops. You can leave them in the box, you've got this nice display window that runs around, and you can see the character nicely. Top window, if you want to look at his head, you can look at the head. That's entirely up to you. To me, that's just a waste of space. But let's take a closer look at the quality and the detail of Frieza. And you might also be wondering, why for my first one in the Dragon Ball set did I go for Frieza and not any of the others? Well, personally for me, as you see, the others are so very similar that I wanted to get Frieza who's completely different and check him out first, and then we can go have a look and compare the other ones together once we get the rest of that set. So on Frieza here, you do actually have to work around his tail a little bit that goes around the stand. You don't want to get him squashed or you will tend to falling off. He does have that kind of menacing look that he normally has into it. Paintwork on him, I am not really seeing any issues, which I wasn't expecting any issues for something like this. Even mould and line wise, there's not a great deal of issues with the mould and lines. That's again, really good. Paintwork, I say overall, got his toenails down there, got his fingernails down, eyes are fine, lips, solid plastic for his head. It is pretty much spot on, absolutely spot on. And this is going to fit nicely on a shelf, loads of space. I'm going to display it outside the box, so much more space to get so many more. They're only a tenner. The most you'll see and you'll end up paying for one of these Chibi Masters is about £12. Most shops sell them for £10. I've seen some for £12. And if you're getting them online, you're probably going to pay a couple of pound postage anyway, so that £10 is going to go to about £12 anyway. And one thing to mention as well, that these are kind of ball bases that go on. You can tilt them, twist them, I don't know, fill up there, but you can twist them. You can essentially do a lot of different things with these as long as you keep the weight balanced so they don't fall from the stand itself. But if you want to see more of Chibi Masters, for example, like the full set of Jujutsu Kaisen, then that video is right here. And I will catch you over there in that one. Cheers.